Hello, good evening. And it's that day of the week where we meet. And it's one of my favorite days of the week. Well, no guesses and no prizes for guessing why, because I get to meet you. So it's a wonderful day to meet you, to speak to you all, and to connect with you all. Do know and do remember our sessions are always very interactive. Therefore, stay super active. Here we are, back with another session of Tech Talk Tuesday for teachers. And today we are talking about reshaping teaching from ABCs to AI. Wow, what a journey, isn't it? And today is something, what we are going to do is we are going to start by taking a moment to truly reflect on, how far have we come as educators, with the changing times. But before anything else, the rituals. Do introduce yourself, your name, your school name, and your city, and answer this important question that's in front of you. Well, the question says, what's that one teaching value or practice that you believe no technology should replace? Okay, what's that one value, teaching value, or practice that you believe no technology should replace? Go ahead, get our chat window buzzing with your thoughts. Would love to hear from you what you think is that one value or teaching value or practice that you would not want to give away to technology to manage or do for you. Go for it. Share in our chat window your thoughts. And of course, do introduce yourself, your name, your school name, your city. It'll be good to know where you're joining us from, and it's good to stay connected and also learn from each other here. So I would love to learn from you. What is it that one practice that you do not want to give away to technology, or you don't want, uh, you know, to have technology to replace that practice? Go ahead, share with us, please. Like I said, our chat window should always be buzzing with thoughts. So, yes, oh, great, fantastic to see the number of people who are joining it from different places. Thank you, Kiran ma'am. Thank you, Puneet. Thank you, Sujata ma'am. Thank you, Ravindra ji. So many of you joining from different places. Love to see you here and would love to get your thoughts as well. Okay, I got my first one. Jyoti ma'am, you're always the first one to share. So thank you for that. Respect for all teachers. Whoa, that actually took the cake, right? Absolutely right. I think the place of a teacher is invaluable and it cannot be replaced by anybody or anything. Jyoti ma'am, I think we should be actually giving you an award and a big round of applause is what we can offer to you over here. Really, bang on. Your response is absolutely great. Fantastic. My ma'am, well and excellent to see you here. I believe empathy and connectedness should never be replaced, isn't it? Well, that's us. That's being human, right? Sujata ma'am says discipline. Oh, yeah, that one. Kiran ma'am says that emotional connection with students, no tech can replace. I absolutely agree with you. I think that's a great note to start on and, connect with you today. Fantastic. Please keep sharing. And here's our agenda. We're going to understand the shift from traditional to AI enhanced teaching practices without taking away what you have said in the chat window. And responses are still coming in. And two, we're going to explore some practical use case of AI. That what is it that you do beyond this lesson planning and assessment and other things? What is that one meaningful thing that I can take to my class tomorrow? And then reflect on how AI can support, not replace, foundational teaching goals. Yeah. I have a few more responses I'll read out. Nidhi ma'am says, I would not like technology to replace the social collaboration, inspiration, and guidance. So totally right. Sheetal ma'am says, originality. Bingo, really, bingo, originality. That's something that I would definitely not want technology to take away. Relationships, love, respect for all, and creativity. Fantastic. Keep these coming. Screen appears to be small for you. Can someone please confirm that you can see the screen absolutely clearly? Thank you. So basically, technology is a tool which is to enhance or evolve teaching. Absolutely right. Okay, the traditional chalk and talk method. You know what? There are certain practices for however, however traditional this thought might be, that, traditional chalk and talk. Today, also, if I tell you to take notes, not even 50% of you will pick up notes in your mobile phone to take notes. You will pick up a pen and a paper. So some things I believe are just forever. They are like, they're going to be there, right? And not so long ago, when we started learning, we began with chalk and slate, right? Blackboards and ABCs, where teaching was largely one way and knowledge is something that we memorized than doing anything. So I like your comment also here, which says a mix of traditional and technology. So that's exactly where I'm taking you to today, right? The blend. So, teachers, were primarily the source of information till now, and the students were expected to absorb everything, recall, and repeat. Then came in the method of learning. In our blended method of learning, a shift was brought from by bringing in technology into the classroom. Laptops came in, smart boards came in, digital resources came in, and we began supplementing traditional methods, but not replacing them. Again, please know, we are supplementing, not replacing, right? And we gained access to internet, multimedia, content, and many more collaborative ways of teaching. This was a turning point for us, but largely one for delivery, not for methodology or the way our pedagogy was changing. So even if we were moving from rote learning to relevance, or from teaching to thinking, or from standardization to personalization, one thing remained constant was the way teachers were to deliver this content. Yeah, so content delivery, still the onus is on teachers. Now we stand at the edge of something far more transformative, which is like AI powered classrooms. And while, the tools are very exciting, this moment isn't really about technology still. It is about you. It is about a deeper shift in the purpose and practice of what we are taking to class. When we say we're moving from rote learning to relevance, we do not want any more cramming up of the facts. But the fact of the fact is that there are some concepts where you have to mug them up. Therefore, what we are doing is we are making available certain tools which can help my students learn in an interesting manner, even if it is in a repetitive one. For example, talking to chatbots, practicing with chatbots is one thing that you can do very easily, and the onus can be shifted, and children also become more interested when there is technology involved. Then, while you are not going to transmit the knowledge, you are going to be a facilitator of thoughts. Nurturing of skills is going to be your prime forte. For all the skills that are listed here, these are the futures of job report of 2025. Just imagine the macro, trends that are shaping the global market. We need to be aware of these kind of skills, because we need to know what is shaping up and who is shaping this up. It is technology that is shaping up, and there are shifts that are happening in economy, climate action, or demographics, and how reskilling is something that is very important. Adaptability is one skill that has become extremely important. And, the digital transformation is enabling all these changes to happen and thrive, allowing us to thrive in this landscape. But again, let me come back to say this shift from ABC to AI is not about losing your own roots. Okay. It is about growing new branches. Core teaching practices remain timeless. What you have written, why we filled our chat window with that was because we wanted to hear those timeless practices so that we can take them with us. Those are something that we cannot do away with and move onwards with something else. No, it doesn't work like that. Not in education, at least. Not yet, at least. And, the one size fits all model is giving way to learning, and, that respects an individual space, preference, and potential. But it does not mean that the teacher goes missing. AI will only enhance, simplify, or reimagine the way we learn. Yeah. So the journey from AI to ABC, once again, is not rejection of the past. It is the evolution of the purpose. And, I am a big time advocate of purpose, or of having a purpose. So whenever, anyone in my session comes and tells me, can you give me a tool for this? Can you tell us some AI tools that are like really good? My first question back to my audience is, What's the purpose? Why do you want to use it? Till you have your purpose clear, you can even make the blackboards obsolete, right? But the right vision and intent is what you need, not a choice between a whiteboard, smartboard, blackboard, or just a touch board. The choice is what's the purpose that you are trying to solve or trying to address. I'm going to pause here. I see one hand raised. Nageshwar sir, I think you've raised your hand. I'm going to allow your mic. You may please go ahead, unmute yourself to talk. Just a second. Yeah, your mic is allowed now. You've raised your hand. You may please unmute yourself to talk. Okay, looks like that's by mistake, not a problem. However, if you want, we will be happy to, pause at any place that you need and, allow for you to speak anytime. All right. I'm just going to lower your hand because looks like that's by mistake. If it's not, then please you may feel free to raise your hand again. So, what I was saying was, let's not just adopt AI. Let's use it to reaffirm our core values in education. While we reimagine this new feature, let's stay very rooted in the values of life that we have always believed in. Therefore, I'm going to rename this session. It's time to call it not ABCs to AI, but timeless teaching meets transformative tech. Well, let's see how much you believe in it. Here's a survey. Go ahead and take the survey. I'll also post the link in the chat window. I would love to know from you what's one thing AI could take off your plate or help you do better. So think about this. Give me, you can scan this QR code, or I'm giving you the link in the chat window. Go ahead and respond to this question. I would love to see what your response is. I'm giving this link in the chat window right here. And there you go. Please go ahead, take the survey. This is a survey about timeless teaching meets transformative tech. What's that one thing AI could take off your plate or help you do better? Go for it. Please respond to this as I bring to you the responses that I get from the audience. So, pausing here for your responses, please. We've only shifted gears. We are just still in the same space. We are still talking about where is it that our most transformative piece lies? And there are two questions in this survey. First one says, according to you, in teaching what needs to be forever human, that is timeless practices, and what do you think AI can help you with enhancement areas? I have two responses already in my on my screen, and I'm just going to share my screen once again, take you to the survey so that you can see as everybody responds. And I request everyone to kindly do participate in this survey. The link is in the chat window. You can also scan this link over here. I'm going to give you this link once again in the chat window. Go for it. Please respond to the survey. I would love to hear your thoughts about what you're saying. Do you see the biggest word out here? The boldest word here? And first question, definitely, I got you going there, but this is something that can collate. Now, this is what helps. Do you see how much time I gave you to write in the chat window? And then I have to collate the thoughts. I have to read everybody's thoughts. Now, this is not replacement. This is just shifting gears. I'm shifting that time consuming task to an online survey, which can give me a kind of a gist of what my audience think. You see, it's still the same thing, right? Even if I go to the next question, you will see similar things. Now, this is of importance to us. What are you looking at is lesson planning, planning strategies, value, teacher burnout. Oh, definitely. Alternative solutions, solutions for problems, test, debugging errors, creativity, idea generation, assessment and correction, worksheet editing. Loads of it. See, do you see what's heavier? Is this heavier or is this heavier? Well, it's almost the same weight. Now, that is what's most beautiful. I have almost 10 responses here. Keep these coming, but believe you me, Every time we have taken these surveys, we know teachers have gone back telling us almost similar things. I know most of you are looking for ways and avenues to actually bring learning to life in your class, increase engagement, increase interactivity in your class. And there's so much more that you can do with the same piece. So let's take a look at what is it that which is a given, like Lalita ma'am has shared in the chat window. So here you go. Lesson planning. You can generate ideas, resources, and scaffolding. You can do assessments here, right? You can design your feedback mechanisms. You can generate rubrics. You can generate formative quizzes. Now, all of these we've covered in the sessions that have gone by in June, right? But what's new here is what we're going to talk about in a minute. But I just want to recap for those who are joining in now that these have already been covered. Therefore, I don't want to repeat myself in June. However, in July sessions, we do have some of these bits that we will be touching upon. Another thing I think we really need help with is differentiated instructions. We really need to offer our students a piece that is understandable to him or her without saying that they have any special needs. It's just about different levels of complexity that we can offer or alternative explanations that we can offer to our students. Progress tracking. I think that's one thing that you need off your plate because this is something which is data driven, and data is something AI can handle better than us because it can do it faster. Just the reason is that it can do it faster and it can identify learning gaps and give to you. The next one being the creative content generation. Who doesn't want it? We saw it on the word cloud as well, that everybody is looking to create visual stories, summaries, simulations. I'm going to touch upon this a lot today. We also need administrative tasks of our, platter, which means that schedule reminders, draft emails, and, especially have hard conversations with parents and students. And, we need AI's help to draft all of that. Then multilingual access, extremely important, especially with NEP 2020, also emphasizing on multiple languages, access to multiple languages, especially mother tongue. I think it's just important that we have instructions in various languages. And we humanly, it's not possible that we do that for every student in our class. Therefore, I think technology is a wonderful solution for that. And of course, student ownership. Enable personalized learning paths and give guided prompts. Use, the learning accelerators in Microsoft for that. Now, the piece. So, what is it that AI can enhance, simplify, or reimagine? Let's focus on that. These are some of the pieces that AI can help with. These practices are going to be rooted in human connection, empathy, and pedagogy, exactly what you said. No algorithms can replace this, right? But we can supplement this, or we can reimagine this to be working in another way. I'm going to club a few of them and I'm going to take you forward. For example, I'm clubbing building relationships, which we think that, I think AI can really help build. These are some of the non-traditional ways in which we are going to use technology. Obvious ones were already stated here, and like I said, they've been covered. I'm going to certain, pieces which might get you thinking about, oh, probably this is something that we could do to use AI in building relationships, providing emotional support and motivation to students, and observing non-verbal clues and adjusting real time. There are certain tools that are listed here. Some are Microsoft tools, some are non-Microsoft tools. Amongst the Microsoft tools, we have Microsoft Reflect, Microsoft Teams, OneNote Class Notebook, Speaker Coach, and Clipchamp. These are the first five are Microsoft tools. Outside of the Microsoft tools, we have QReport and Quizzes. We have Magic School AI and Suno AI. So there is so much here to explore. Let me just dive in. First thing first, Microsoft Reflect. If you're new to Microsoft Reflect, do let me know in the chat window. I'll show you where it is. But in almost, I think, every session, we have started by using Microsoft Reflect. Microsoft Reflect is available to you in two places. One, within Microsoft Teams. Two, it is available on reflect.microsoft.com. I'll give you the link in the chat window so that you can explore for yourself as well. Right? And you can go there, log in with your school ID if you have a Microsoft School ID, and start using it right away. It's available for you to use. What does it do? It focuses on social emotional learning. It'll offer you multiple types of check-ins to know how you're feeling. How was the assignment? How hard was your weekend homework? Or, what you learned today. How are you feeling about what you learned today? So students are able to express their thoughts, feelings, emotions, and you start building empathy. Sometimes I'm teaching us a topic which is like a very complex topic, and I break it into pieces. And at the end of the week, I want to know how my students are feeling about the topic right now. For example, I think one of the topics that we've always explored is that when you're teaching as a math teacher, when you're teaching decimals, students take time warming up to decimals. The fractions come in very quickly to them, but decimals something that they take time warming up to. And then percentage is not that bad. So while this is happening, how are my students feeling? Do I really know, what kind of, sometimes it builds a lot of frustration when you're not able to get that concept, right? I need to know all of that. Now, to know all of this tool can really help you. There are certain questions that are already built in, and you can create one of your own as well. This also offers you, emotional check-ins, reflection prompts, or integration into Microsoft Teams, as you like it. How it works is when you send out a kind of a check-in, as I showed you over here, you can choose any of the questions. It'll go like this to the students. They click on one of the emotions. Now when they click on the emotion, there is an option of further describing, so you are deep diving into, okay, if you're feeling grateful, or if you're feeling very happy. For example, I'm feeling very happy, right? uh, how Why are you feeling happy? Are you feeling ambitious? Are you feeling awed? Are you feeling confident, creative, grateful? It gives you um, vocabulary to describe your happiness. That is the insight that I get about my students. And there is they're filled with appreciation with the way I've taught this week. So that's an amazing thing. I think it works both ways. They've been able to share their feelings with me. I've been able to get a feedback on my teaching. Assessment as learning. Yeah. Another way. Here are insights. It's not just about a one time check in, it is about having running records of your class. You don't have to do it. You've shifted the onus to Microsoft Teams. Insights will keep a complete record of how your students have been feeling. It'll also bring these kind of top words in your class. Students are happy and confused. You will go back, look at which day or which pieces did they say that they were confused. Over here you could see in yellow they were confused, and if a particular student is confused, you can always deep dive into that student as well. Yeah, so you can actually get to know the quietest of the feelings of the students who might not even tell you, but while they are doing this, believe you me, somewhere down the lane they start becoming very honest about it. I have a comment in the chat window. Thank you, Nidhi ma'am. You always lend to my talks. She said that I tried Reflect, an exercise with my students, and they loved it, performing it, and during summer vacations. Oh, they love it. I mean, this is one piece that I can assure you goes very well into the classroom. And the best part is that Reflect messaging extensions, they're very easy. You don't have to do much. I can take you to the website to create one and quickly show you one as well. And emotional check-ins just help you build that self-awareness, social awareness, and two critical components of emotional quotient. So just imagine, with a simple exercise of what I've just spoken about, you're able to actually get an idea about how your students are doing. This is Microsoft Reflect, okay? And this gives you a complete run through as to what is it that you can do. I've given you the link in the chat window. These are some of the check-ins that you can create. Students respond to it. I love the interface when students respond. Love these feeling monsters. And then you get actionable insights. So let's say I'm going to get started over here. When you say get started, you have to first log in with your ID. I'm already logged in here, of course, and I have multiple check-ins that I've already done with my students. Now, over here, you could, on the left-hand side, you have multiple options. It's not just about creating a survey. Sometimes you want a stretch break. So, people, are you ready? Well, let's go for this and let's take a stretch break right now. Go with me and do with me. All right. And if you can't hear it, do let me know. Wow, I loved it. I did it alongside. Raise your hand if you did do along with it. It's so simple. You all have smart boards in your classroom. A simple exercise like this just brings that transition from one period to another. Imagine the students have been through a maths period and now they're going to go for another subject, and it just comes out so quickly. And you can actually have this transition running between two classes. One of our schools where we hosted trainings have taken this so seriously that in most of the classes they do have pieces from meditation, from movement, from play, from music. Different types of things is what they are engaged in. So here are some of the responses, or I can actually start playing over here as well. You can do a memory card. Simply just go ahead and remember what was where, and you can start matching. Look at that. I've not been able to match even a single one, right? So you can play very simple games. This is for you as well. There you go. I did match my first one, right? But all I'm trying to say is these are brain breaks that all of us need. And I think it can be very simply done with the help of AI. And the best part, as I'm doing all of this, a running record of this is being maintained. And at the end of each month, you can ask your teachers to share a report of how did they use reflect in their classroom, keep running records, and show to parents these beautiful engagements that you have in your class. So our schools also do this, that they create videos of students performing along with, and they run these as parents come for PTMs, they come to know about these practices, and that's a win-win for both, right? Fantastic. Yeah. Mahima ma'am says this is one of my favorite warm-ups for students. I'm sure. I mean, I love it to the core. Fantastic. You know what? There's something else. If you use Microsoft Teams, praise badges are available in Microsoft Teams. When your students do a wonderful job, I think it's so rewarding if you hear it from your teacher. So Teams will allow you to actually use these praise badges. This is specifically the social emotional learning piece, because while we are using Teams, and these days, I think without any notice, we go offline and we have to start using Teams for learning. Students really miss you. They miss you as a person who you are. Therefore, these praise badges go a long way to recognize a student's social skills or emotional growth, or add to their emotional vocabulary, or give value recognition to them as they are not near you. Well, talking about their growth, so this is something that you could do in your classes very easily. Talking about growth, also, sorry, before I move over there, also I want to mention that these are also available in OneNote. So in OneNote as well, you will find these kind of praise badges available, which you can actually award to your students. And there are beautiful stickers also, which have been specifically designed, and even your these monsters are available in OneNote. So please go ahead and try that. Now, we've always dreamt of our students having more confidence while they are speaking. Yeah. Speaker coach and speaker progress is one tool that students can use in their complete privacy. And they go a long way in helping them improve upon their ability to present, to speak. So, speaker coach is something that is built in within Microsoft Teams. It's also built within Microsoft PowerPoint. What it does is it helps you prepare in private, give you more effective presentations, and it evaluates your patch. Do you see this report? Well, this evaluates your pace at which you speak, pitch at which you speak, your use of filler words like okay, and informal way of talking, or even culturally sensitive terms that you're using. So it detects all of that. And if you're doing being over wordy, it'll tell you, hey, I think you've been talking a lot at stretch. Take a pause, let someone speak, or ask a question. So what it does, is that it helps you develop certain habits that will help you become a better presenter. So it's not just for students, it's for everybody or anybody to use to be able to work on your communication or your presentation skills per se. Yeah. And here is our newest kid on the block. It's called Clip Champ. Clipchamp is a video making tool. It to sometimes when I'm explaining certain keywords, I really want a text overlay over there. For example, there's a training video, right? I've picked it up from Microsoft website, but I want my words to go on it because my students understand my language, right? So you can do annotations. You can even put stickers over there, stickers like these, or arrows like these, and do those text layovers. So if you're doing your videos for your class, this is one of the best tools. And I think we have a lot of assignments where students do that. And to set the tone and boost excitement and establish an kind of an interactivity, what you can do is you can have this scripted, and at a certain pace, let's say you are 3 minutes into that video, you can over there insert certain text or a question. You can trim away the excess video and even insert certain pieces over there. Let me show you one of the projects that students have made. If you can't hear it, do let me know. Wow. Buzzy and noisy? Well, that's how they like it. Just a second. Okay. Sounds like buzzy and noisy, but that's how students like it. I'm dropping project ideas in the chat window. That's a blog about Clipchamp, how you can use it in class. And believe you me, it's wonderful. Doesn't take time. Even if your assignment is due tomorrow, this helps you make a video within no time. And you can do voiceovers, you can trim it, you can play with the voices. Yes, there are music, background music that are already available. So yes, you can always use this. And love that, you're sharing your practices in the chat window. You've just used, created background music for annual functions using Clipchamp. Wonderful. Well, if you haven't done Suno, you have to do Suno. So I'll take you to Suno AI also in a bit, but let that be the creativity piece. So right now I'm trying to engage students here in a very meaningful manner. So I'm trying to build relationship by giving them some piece that they connect with, they relate with. Yeah. Okay. So the next piece that I'm talking about is creating social stories. So this is one piece which you can take in Magic School AI. Let me first introduce Magic School AI. Magic School AI, if you're not familiar, it's a freemium kind of a piece for teachers, and you can use it. Simply go to Magic School AI and start using it. What does it do? It supports multiple ways. It's education focused. Now I'm outside of Microsoft. This is an education focused app that can actually help you with a lot of suggestions on activities or differentiated learning or writing prompts or personalized challenges that you want to give to your students. It has content for almost anything and everything that you can think of. The tools available here are vast, and there are tools here which are, some of them are my favorite, and those of you who know me well will know I love sentence starters. Whenever I've asked anyone to say, can you tell me this, the first hindrance that they have actually come across is, how do I start talking about this? Therefore, offering sentence starters really give a kickstart to your conversations. Therefore, when we meet you, we normally, even in the questionnaire that I gave you, if you see, those were two of the sentence starters. We don't just throw you in the pool by saying, tell me this. We always give you a sentence starter. Another thing is text scaffolder. This is another one wherein, scaffolding is a very important strategy. So let's say you have learned, like I said, a concept over the week. It is very important that we scaffold that concept and we are able to present to you that. I know it's going to take time for you to do it manually. Therefore, rely on AI. Go to text scaffolder, put your entire chapter there. You will upload your PDF or your whatever document there and say, hey, just scaffold this text for me. And it'll do exactly that. That is the kind of support that we are looking for students. Another one, student support learning, with chatbots. Students have some thousand questions. Even when I'm talking to you right now, I'm sure there are some thousand questions that are crossing your mind. And every time I move to the next thing, you'll feel a little bit that, oh, I wanted to know this, or I wanted to ask this. How do I ask? Because she's shifting from one piece to another, right? I have only as much time in an hour to tell you. I'm here for you. I'm happy to tell you. But again, it's not humanly possible for me to answer questions of hundreds of people who join our session. Therefore, a chatbot like Rhina within Magic School AI, or a chatbot like Copilot could give you, or even Khanmigo can give you excellent, places to have a conversation. In these conversations, students ask the best of the questions and the silliest of the questions are the most meaningful questions as well. So, nothing when you ask over here is silly or small. You can ask them anything. Therefore, there is a lot of, there's a lot of thought and science behind creating these chatbots and making them available to your students so that you open up avenues for personalized learning in the truest sense. I want to learn more about, let's say I was doing decimals. I want to learn more about why does a decimal have a place after the whole number and why does it not come before? So, I could have 10,000 questions out there, right? Why is a decimal represented by a dot and not an asterisk and not a question mark or not a hashtag? I could have as many questions, but there is no one to answer those questions. Therefore, it's a wonderful way to have these kind of curiosity based questions at least answered by these chatbots, which are being trained to answer these questions. I hope I'm making sense to you. And, I'm loving Nidhi Sarda ma'am and Sheetal ma'am that they are, constantly sharing their practices. And one of the wonderful practices that they've shared is a workshop on Magic School AI, is what they both had conducted for their colleagues. And majority of the teachers are now using, Magic School AI. So this is the essence of these sessions. You learn, you go back, you apply this and you share this. So, yeah, some of their, favorite ones are presentation generator. Who doesn't like a presentation generator, right? Song generator and the rubric generator. Yep, there are plenty. If you have any questions, please do drop them in the chat window. I would love to answer those. Yeah. I'm moving to the other piece. The other piece is creativity, curiosity, and critical thinking. I think in this entire piece, all I can say is it's a student centric goal that we have on mind, and we are enabling ourselves to become better using technology. And the power of AI and computing is what is empowering us to be able to offer diverse range of skills to our students and be able to offer in a very humanized way because we are behind that. We're not just giving it away to a chatbot to answer. All the history of what my students are talking is available to me. So we believe that this is a mission especially important in education as we are the ones who are brewing the leaders and citizens of tomorrow. Therefore, I think AI is not just technical, it's deeply human. And we need to reflect on our values, our data, our decisions. And we have a responsibility to guide our students with care and with the tools that make sense in the classroom. Yeah. So while we talk about creativity, curiosity, and critical thinking, uh, we can do this in multiple ways. Number one, contribute more to discussions and ideations. All of us want that, right? Critical thinking means that you've taken the time to analyze a subject, but your 40-minute period might not allow you that. So this lets you interact with different tasks, problems, or talking points, and enables you to highlight something that people may not have noticed. For example, you may notice an issue with the current methodology or a suggested one based demonstration research. You're feeling very much about it, but you really cannot convey it. All you need to do is offer extra alternatives, and this will help you do that. For example, today I took up the first way of my asking you a question was I ask, you respond in the chat window. I go back to say it's a wonderful practice. I get to hear what's on my audience's mind, but the problem is, I can't collate these thoughts and present to see what's the core thought. I have to do that manually. That takes time. If I shifted gears and gave that to Microsoft Forms, it actually gave me the word cloud about that whole piece. And I have two beautiful clouds with me, which I can share with you in the chat window as well. That these are rich cloud by now with 30 responses from my own audience. And I'm much better informed about what my audience is looking for and what they think. So what we are trying to do here is not to shift onus to technology. We're trying to actually share onus by saying, you get me the results, I shall analyze them. Right. So I think that is one which way I feel that, this is one which way that worked for me. And I sincerely hope, it does work for you as well if you try in your classes. There might be some places where you might feel this is something that I really need to rethink how to do this because it's taking a lot of time. Maybe I could use AI here. Yeah. Number two, feel confident in shaping and sharing your own opinions. Most of the times, when we ask a question, even when I asked over here, there were only a couple of answers that popped up in my chat window. But when I gave you the form, there are about 30 responses, 30 respondents over there. Imagine my scope of getting the results from about 10 people went up to about 30 people by just introducing a piece of technology. Well, I think that's a win win. I could definitely do that. And, by employing these simple critical thinking options, I was more self assured of the ideas that I was able to collate. And I've shared those both in the chat window. It also promoted individual thinking while we were, discussing and having this thought process. And additionally, it stops a person from being closed off when presented with new information. You're like still valuing everybody's thoughts in the room. Yeah. Another thing is that you can boost creativity. No two things about it. With a knack of, I think, critical thinking, you can actually boost students' ability and even your own ability to innovate, to get imaginative, to have meaningful thoughts and creative solutions. In doing all of this, you're increasing their self awareness by challenging, common biases like, ma'am, I can't draw. I'm not very good at drawing, but it's not about drawing. It is about knowing what content are you aware of. So you're able to better recognize your limitation and trust on your own thoughts better than just assumptions. And of course, based on all of this, make informed decisions. You have the ability to discern the quality of information. That means that you can determine biases in information. You can understand the purpose of a source. Why did this child give me this information? The better digestible data is available to you, and that leads to better decision making. Let me take you to a few tools. I think with the rise of generative AI, one thing is for sure that we can actually go ahead and do many things. For example, go to Copilot very simply. If I were to go to Barcelona, I would simply just go and say, make a 3-day trip for a family in Barcelona. And if I can ask that, I can always say, make me a 3-day plan to take my students to camping, make it fun. Remember, this is Gen Z who's going with me. So try and give me one of the very unique ways of taking them for camping. Otherwise, it's pretty traditional by approach. Camping has to have certain elements, and I completely respect that. However, I think with generations, we need to bring about a little bit of change. Yeah. So, what this is doing is it is readily making me available certain data for me to evaluate without any judgment. I can actually engage in this content, make choices, pose more questions, and engage in critical thinking and probably conversations. And that will complement my learning. Yeah. I'm not replacing myself to say, hey, why don't you make the plan and we'll go? No, I want you to suggest me what is it that I can do. And you can actually work upon that. Yeah. This is called efficient research. Next. Can you imagine using something like this? Take a look and I'll talk. There is no sound, so it's all right. So just imagine, it's such a dreamlike feeling. When you use Microsoft Designer's generative AI, just to type is to draw a wave of words going into a machine, and you get this beautiful, amazing canvas painted in front of you. So just imagine this was a project where you can invite students to do a kind of a art piece, right? So we say do a photorealistic image of a glittery knoll orbiting earth. So just imagine, we are trying to bring planets closer to my students, right? We're trying to bring um, imagery to life. It's even more surreal than it can be. So look at a prompt like this. So prompting is still a fresh concept, right? All of this that you have generated as you viewed through the video, I'm just playing it once again for you. You could see that this image that came up by a cluster of words. Yeah, while we are doing history, while we are doing art, while we are doing geography, there are certain things that are very ambiguous out there, right? There is no certainty of what I'm looking at. Therefore, it's always exciting if you can actually visualize what you are reading or understanding. So the process of turning a text into an image is something that brings visualization in your classrooms, whether you are doing language or novels or anything. And it just brings out a way for you to know how beautifully you can actually use this tool to visualize a scenario. Now, while these were being made, do note that there was prompting behind it, and prompting is still fresh, a concept with most of us. And visual prompting is something that is absolutely new. So, what you can do in this visual prompt, what do I mean by visual prompt is, on your right hand side, what you see is a visual prompt, which means the words written in black are going to remain same, but the words in the brackets that are in that purplish blue color, you can change that. So when you hover over these, it shows the text prompts that can be used to create it. Okay. Uh, when you hover over this, it'll show you this. What you can do is, without much effort, you can actually refine that prompt and start using it. You can even send out this visual prompt to your students. So let's say they want to create an origami piece with paper. In the background, there has to be something, and the image should be dash, dash, dash. Okay. So this is maybe I'm doing a project in my class where I'm trying to study cultures from across the world. While I'm doing that, I'm doing marriages across the world or weddings across the world. So I'm keeping these as non-stagnant. I'm saying go for choosing any country that you want, any culture that you want, put it here. Yeah. And then try and make something. The visual prompt is like a recipe. You see the dish and the ingredients and the option of altering these recipes, and your dish will come alive, and a yummy one at that. Yeah. Similarly, this is actually how it works. Once you've created the image, you can still go ahead and add text to it. You have multiple options of editing it. You want to make it more friendly, you want to make it more clearer, you could do anything that you want. This is creativity at its best. Another one, you can do timelines. This is Adobe Express. I love Adobe Express for creating such things. There are templates that are already available. So you can think of critical thinking skills as a toolbox of techniques and principles. They give you the ability to objectively analyze information. For example, I have this journey of a pizza from wheat to eat. Love it, isn't it? We do so much of farm to table. A wheat to eat is beautiful. Yeah. And what we do over here is we look at this piece, for example, in a person's day to day life. Critical thinking techniques can be deployed in this way. While you love eating that pizza, do you even know where it came from? So you trace back the whole journey, you do it in a creative way, and you access information, organize information. Now, to organize this information, you need to have that information. Therefore, you search for not just observable facts, you also look for information on it, and then you try and write it. This you cannot create if you have not read your piece. So there is clarity and depth in learning while you're engaging in these kind of critical thinking skills. There is curiosity about, okay, where did it actually come from, right? And you are learning on the way. One more piece. Again, I'm throwing a lot of pieces here, but do remember a deep dive is what if your school or you are looking for. You can always connect with us. In these sessions, we try and give you a glimpse of many things that you do. Pedagogy is on our mind, and that too digital pedagogy at its best. Curipod. Love it because Curipod makes your lessons interactive. As you do that, here's one. Which character from Charlotte's Web do you connect with most? While we are doing novels or we are doing stories, it's very difficult for students to sometimes get connected with timeless pieces. They're living in the age of today. They don't know what yesteryears were like. Visualize them with them using Designer or Express as you like it, and then get their ideas out. Visualize what they're thinking, see what they're thinking. You can actually do this with Curipod. Um, and also over here, you can have open questions for students. I do this activity in one of my sessions where I say, go to Copilot and say, it was a dark and stormy night. And then we give it to students to say, okay, pick up your own sentence starter over here and start giving me a story. And there you go. There are multiple stories, not just one, multiple stories that start coming to life in my classroom. The sun shone brightly. Suddenly, everything changed. And then what? I really need to read every story piece that they write. They are so beautiful. Talking about storytelling, well, you can't leave Minecraft behind. Elements in Minecraft really help you bring your thinking to life. uh, you can do so much with Minecraft. If you haven't tried, you have to try. It is that ease of building. It's just like Lego blocks. The way you can build with Lego blocks and you can build anything, you can actually tinker with these blocks in Minecraft and go back to your class to ask, how many of you play Minecraft? I'm sure more than 70% of the students will raise a hand to say, man, how do you know about Minecraft? Or, sir, aren't you being too cool to know about Minecraft? Well, you can know about Minecraft education because that is a Microsoft product, right? And it's a very safe environment to play. And you can build with these, you can break these, you can build them again, and you lead them towards perfection. It's experimenting with these materials that gives you most joy. It's the collaboration, with other friends and collaborative thinking that actually takes the center stage. Problem solving and critical thinking are at the heart of this piece. Take a look at this piece. This is one of the Minecraft projects that was done with year six. And, some of the students created ancient worlds. Some created about Rome, some created about Egypt, some created about Greece, some created about Indus Valley. So they had worked on various civilizations and they worked together. The background work was they would do their online research, find out information about who lived here. And, of course, there were, multiple pieces given to them. They went to Copilot, find out what kind of houses they lived in, what were their temples look like, which materials did they use, and so forth. So one is that, you can go to designer, give your prompt, create an image like this and bring it here. Two is you use these actual materials and build these houses, these temples, and bring them to life. You get into discussions of what are the materials? How tall do you think it is? Your mathematics come into play. You draw these objects not just on paper, but you take them to reality. There are decisions that are taken collaboratively. This element of collaborative working continues into Minecraft when you design and you share the task. So, in the entire world, you divide your spaces to say, hey, you create this piece and I create that piece. That is the true essence of working collaboratively. And, how are you going to scale this? How many blocks should you be using? Whose building is going to be taller, wider, deeper? Will it have different levels? So, what comes is different learning behaviors. You will see a different set of students taking a leadership here. Mathematical calculations are involved, problem solving is involved, designing solutions are involved without formally saying and blurring the lines of subject areas. You will see ideas, you will see strong discussions, you will see making decisions. And that is something, what we want in our students to come in. These skills that are the skills of tomorrow, which are absolutely essential. I'm going to pause here. I think I've spoken at length and give offloaded many things on you guys. And I think there's loads that you need to absorb. What I need to tell you here is that, beyond this session, you can still get recording. I know you will want to revisit this. You can get the recording of these sessions on our YouTube channel. I can give you a link in the chat window. You can please go ahead and, just follow or subscribe or whatever way you want, or simply just visit there to see, what is it that you can do. I'm also going to give you many more things. Let me just first give you these essential links which will help you go to know where is it that you can stay connected with us. I've dropped these links in the chat window. And of course, we after such a heavy session, I think it's very important for you to sit down with yourself to think, okay, what have I learned today? Therefore, we designed a special test for this session. It's a completely optional for you, completely optional. No one is forcing you to do this, but you can go ahead and take a test. You have to score 80%. Yes, it's got a score. You need to get a score. You need to score at least 80% to be able to become eligible to earn a certificate. Once you have taken the test, you have earned your 80, you have scored 80% in that test, then you make a payment of rupees 200. The details are given in the link that I'm going to give you. So you can go ahead and take a test to actually earn your certificate for the day. And it's a nominal fee of 200 rupees that we request for to be able to give you that certificate. So this is a time when you start taking your test. Don't forget, whatever we have learned today is a part of the test. This is MCQs, so you will have one or more than one option. If it is more than one option that is correct, it will be very clearly mentioned over there that you have more than one correct answer. So select all that are correct. All right. So there are about 10 questions for you to answer. All the best. Do your best and take the test. As you take the test, I must also remind you that nominations for Microsoft Showcase School and for Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert are open. It opened in about late April or early May, and it is open to the end of July. Therefore, please, please, please make your nominations on time. Do not forget that. There are certain criteria for it. I'll drop that in the chat window till you take the test. All right. And if you have any questions, I'm very much here to answer. Very happy to answer any question that you would like me to answer. All right. Um, I'm going to drop the details for MI Expert as well in the chat window. These are the, various tracks that you need to complete, and then you can go to the MI application and file in your application as well. Yeah. And of course, you're most welcome to approach us for any CBSE or any K-12 PD sessions. We are here. Those are the three major domains under which we do sessions for you. I'll drop this in the chat window. And we have our flagship programs that are basically your AI school programs. And you can go to our website to know more about this as well. And I'll give you the, new, of course, it's going to be July now when we meet on 1st of July. Next Tuesday is 1st of July. So I'm going to give you the calendar blocking for you. So we are going to give you this, which is our July calendar. We will be posting this across our channels as well. Please do mark your calendars for the month of July. Would love to meet you each week in this room. And, as you come back for more sessions, we are happy to talk to you. Yeah. So here you go. You have all the links that you need. Our AI school programs link is what I'm also giving you in the chat window. So I hope you've had a fruitful day with us, session with us today. And I'm going to pause here. I will see you on 1st of July. And the session title that day is AI-powered assessments and feedback loops for student growth. Do not forget to give us a feedback, please. We thrive on the feedback that you give us. Do share your candid feedback about how you liked or you did not like or you want more from this session. then please go ahead and give us this feedback. And thank you so much. I will see you next Tuesday on a new topic. And till then, I hope you're taking your test to take your test. All the best. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a fantastic week ahead.